Hello, guys. Welcome to yet another episode of the Fan Connect podcast. And as of now, I'm recording this call. We just won a match against the Wolves, the Wolverhampton, and we are pretty much excited about that. And I'm sure all the Gunners around the world as well are pretty much excited about it as well. And for now, I have with me Rahul Krishnan, who's been an Arsenal fan since 2003, the Invincibles era. So, hello Rahul, how are you feeling tonight after our win?
Hey, yeah, I think a really big win and an important win because
Mm-hmm.
we won against Southampton, etc. We won against Norwich.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not the clubs that we are
Yeah,
trying to
yeah. We
overtake in
expect
the
we
whole.
expect our club to get those wins.
Exactly,
So yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in a stadium away, at Wolves, where I think even City couldn't win. Only
Yeah,
Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs won
they
in the
did the
whole
double on
campaign
City
there.
this
So I
year,
think
Wolves,
exactly.
and they
So
are
I
on
think
fire.
so that was yeah,
Yeah.
and for us to go away and our away form has not been great, but still we went away and
Mm-hmm.
won that match. And
Mm-hmm.
2-0 was a comfortable win.
Yeah.
They put pressure, but we still managed to hold on. So I think a really good one today.
Actually, we did pretty good in the first half. We kept our calm and we were so composed in our
Yeah,
defending. We kept the ball. We were trying to search the spaces. And in the second half, we got a
exactly.
pretty low, I think. And our defense
Yeah, I think there
was,
was a time when Wolves was attacking with a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
pressure in the first
Mm-hmm.
probably 20 minutes of the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the drinks break, I think that the substitutions really helped and we
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of were on the front foot
Those
again.
little
So I
tweaks,
think,
yeah, the substitution
uh,
really helped us tonight in
yeah,
tonight's match.
absolutely. Because I think even though Tierney was really good on
Mm-hmm.
the left fullback position, uh, Traore was giving him some problem. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
once Maitland-Niles came in, then
He
that entire
completely
outlet
changed.
got
He had
nullified.
Traore in
So
his pocket
yeah,
when Maitland-Niles first
yeah,
subbed onto
actually,
the pitch.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was a good set of substitutions and good performance from the guys on the pitch also. So I think
Okay,
really
okay.
good game.
So overall, you're happy tonight.
Absolutely,
After
yes.
we have got some sort of momentum going to Wolves, and let's see.
Yeah.
I'm over imagining this. Maybe we can beat City too in the FA Cup final if we keep this momentum going on. So hope for the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I know. I mean, sometime back, Champions League was out of question, and even Europa League
Mhm.
was, whether we are going to make up those positions were in doubt.
Yeah,
Right now we are in the seventh position,
seventh
and
position.
fifth doesn't look very far now. So
Mhm.
let's hope we can get a good
We are
set of
just
results going
five.
forward.
I think 5 point adrift from
Right,
fifth place for the Champions League
right,
spot. Yeah,
yeah, right.
so
So
it's a bright start, I should say. The coming fixtures are tough,
absolutely,
but
yeah,
we need to win those. And if we got around those three fixtures, the one against Leicester, Tottenham, and Liverpool, if we even manage to get
yeah,
really two wins and a draw, then the Champions League spot is pretty much open to us, I
yeah,
think. So keeping fingers
yeah.
crossed for
Because I
now.
think we are ending easily. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get on with it. So what do you think with the Arteta tactics that he has introduced from the introduction of David Luiz, I think, when he received the red card? And as of we know, for now, Luiz is here to stay for another year. He got his contract extended.
Right.
So do you think the back three is because of the reason of him playing Luiz? Because before that we were playing with the traditional back four, and since Lewis was introduced,
Right.
we switched on to the back three, and we have seen the back three in the 3-4 last matches, and it's been a successful tactics, and we got those wins. So what do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think it was mostly to accommodate Luis that he kind of shifted to a back three, and
Mm-hmm.
also because the personnel that was available to him kind of suited a back three. And
Mm-hmm.
Luis has always been a much better performer playing in a back three than
In a
in
back
a
three,
back
yeah.
two.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not a natural back two defender.
Mm-hmm.
When he won with Chelsea in Conte under Conte, he was playing in a back three.
Mm-hmm.
he's a little more adventurous, a little more uh, attacking-minded defender, so to say. So he prefers playing in a back three, and
Mhm.
that's where his leadership qualities also come out. I mean,
Yeah,
Arteta
yeah,
has been
yeah.
talking about his leadership qualities, and that's where he's able to organize the people around him. So I think the problem with the system, in one way, is that Ozil does not get to play because you're playing a
Mhm.
back three.
Mhm.
You can't afford to have another number 10 playing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's giving us the results that we want. So I think
Mhm.
more than anything, that's a system that's worked. So
The win
it's a
is what
good
matters for
tactical
now. We
change.
need the 3 points every other
Yes,
match.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And if you have noticed,
exactly.
we were not building from the mid. We were building from the right flank or either the left flank. We are trying to build
Yeah,
our
exactly.
game from the left or the right flanks, I should say. Either Tierney
Actually,
crossing,
yeah,
Kolasinac.
actually,
Yeah, yeah, go on.
right. Yeah, actually, right. I mean, that's a right observation because, earlier we had, say, in the last year, you saw typically the attacks went through the middle. Xhaka, Ramsey, and Ozil, trying to channel the attacks through the middle. This is a conscious decision where, and we have some good attacking talent on the flanks. It's either Tierney and Aubameyang on one side, or, Pepe, on the other side. Saka could play on either flanks. So I think the kind of talent available to us on the flanks is also supporting the system
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Arteta is
That
trying
could
to
be the
introduce,
reason.
and it's working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tierney's been so good as far after his return from the injury. He has been
yeah,
pretty much amazing. The final third crosses he puts, he finds his man.
absolutely.
So that's been good. Hope
Yeah,
so. He keeps on continuing
yeah,
that.
he's not the right. He's not the fastest on the pitch. He's not going to
Mhm.
win a race against a fast person. But I think his positioning sense, his crossing,
Yeah, yeah,
his
yeah. To the
the
point.
way he attacks the ball, I think really great
Mhm.
find, and looks like a very a bargain price that we got him for.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
his talent, I think
actually.
he's an actual bargain.
And he seems to be the leader in the team, I think. He is leading with whatever he can.
Yeah, yeah,
He
he's
has some aggression in him, and I think we
yeah,
bought him from Celtics, and he
yes,
used to be the captain over there, the leader at such a young
captain of Celtic. Yeah,
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 yeah.
and actually, and Celtic were champions for 3-4 years on a trot, and
Mhm.
he was the trophy winning captain for them.
Mhm.
So I think, uh,
So he has
and
got
unlike say,
qualities he should lead a team, lead a
yeah,
champion team.
right,
Yeah, he has that in him.
absolutely,
Hmm.
yeah,
And most recently, the thing about last match, I think Bellerin seemed sloppy after his return from the injury, after his ACL injury,
yeah,
and a
he's right,
lot of fans were slating him for his slow work rate and not providing the better crosses in the final third.
right,
So, what do you think?
right.
Should we let Bellerin go? Should we cash on him
Uh,
right now at the moment?
Yeah, right. I think it's interesting because at one point in time he was supposedly the blue-eyed boy for all of us because his pace is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
He can make overlapping runs, and his crossing was also good. But I think, as you said, after his injury, his even his pace, he's not really venturing forward
Mhm.
as much as he is. And
Mhm.
so if you see all the attacks are coming through the left flank.
Yeah.
And when he is playing with Pepe, Pepe is forced to retreat and receive the ball, which is not his natural game.
Mhm.
Versus say when Maitland-Niles played or when Soros played,
Mhm.
Pepe still has that freedom to do what he
Yeah.
wants up front.
Whatever he can. Yeah.
So I think it's a call that we'll have to take about what we do with Bellerin
Mhm.
because he's one player who's going to fetch us money, and that's something that we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as you said, Cedric Soares has extended his contract.
Mhm.
Maitland-Niles can play there as well. We
Mhm.
have two very good options and probably options as good as Bellerin in that position. It's going to be a tough decision for Arteta to make because
Mhm.
Bellerin has been an Arsenal fan himself. He's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
one of Arsenal's big brand ambassadors all throughout.
Mhm.
So what he does with Bellerin is going to be interesting.
Mhm.
But I would still think that they would want to hold on to him for a
Yeah,
season
even
and
I
see,
think that we should
if,
we should back him. He has just come out of his injury, and we should cut him a slack. That yeah,
right,
a few poor performance can be all right. I think at the moment. Uh, I think
Right. But
Cedric plays
the
in this
good thing is
position only for
still,
the right back, and
yeah, right,
he,
right,
he has extended his contract for 4 years. So keeping that in
yeah,
mind, is he going to be a backup for
right.
Bellerin, or is Arteta trying to get him out somehow, and that's why he got Cedric a 4 year extension? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think all this while Bellerin did not have any real competition for his, spot.
Yeah, yeah.
Earlier it was Matthew Debussy for a long
Mhm.
time, and then Maitland Niles. No one really challenged Bellerin for that right back position. But
Mhm.
the initial understanding was Cedric Soares was a backup for his position.
Mhm.
But recently Arteta mentioned that he's the best
Yeah.
player in the final third.
Final third
Cedric
taking
Soares is the best
decisions. Yeah,
player in the
yeah,
final third.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think it's a good thing to have. I mean, if you can actually choose to play them depending on the match situation. Against a team that is a slow on pace, you could play Bellerin.
Mhm.
Against a team which is more pacier, which where you need someone with more positional sense, etc. You could
Mhm.
play Soros. So I think it's a good thing to have the two people challenging for that position,
Mhm.
rather than just have one person get into that comfort zone. So I think we could use both. There's no
Mhm.
reason why we cannot have both in the
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah.
But yes, if you see that Bellerin is not able to continue picking up, after
Mhm.
giving him multiple chances, then
Mhm.
we can still look at having him out.
And what do you think on our transfer conditions? Who should we get him? You want a defender? We should buy, or we should go for a creative mid? What do you think on that?
Uh, so I think
Because
one William Saliba is coming.
right now at the moment, Arteta is trying to do whatever he can with what set of players he is having right now. Okay, uh, we
Right.
have Mustafi, we have Kolasinac and David Luiz, whom I think they are doing
Yeah.
good, pretty good. And Kolasinac seemed to struggle a lot in the back three system. He's not
Yeah.
a natural center back. He
Right.
used to be a winger for us, a left back. Yeah, he used to be a left
Yes.
back, and
Yeah.
right now he's switching to as a center back. So that's not going well for him. He is giving away balls,
Right.
and
Right.
yeah. So
So
what do
I
you
think
think about that? Should we go
I,
for a
I
defender?
think first we need to. Yeah. So one thing is that William Saliba is coming.
Mhm.
He's going to join us after his loan at Saint Etienne.
Yeah.
So he's supposedly the bright, a really bright prospect that we
Mhm.
have. But we also have a lot of redundant players. You have Socrates, you have Mustafi, you have Kolasinac,
Mhm.
you have Chambers, you have Holding,
Mhm.
the Dinos Mavropanos, Zach Medley. We have about 7 or 8 center backs right now,
Mhm.
and most of them are not good enough to
Yeah,
be
we
a
don't have
center
any
back for
depth
Arsenal.
in
So I
those
think
defenders. We
David,
can't rely on them for so
right?
long. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so I think Socrates and Mustafi for me are the ones who are most likely to leave
Mhm.
in this transfer season.
Mhm.
Uh, and Saliba is going to come in. And I was really looking forward to Pablo Mari because Arteta was really wanted a left-footed center
Left-footed
back.
center back.
So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so a combination. If you play a back three with a combination of Pablo Mari, David Luiz,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
William Saliba, or Rob Holding, that is a solid three of a left-footed centre back, a right-footed centre back, and a creative centre back. So I
True.
think if you ask me right now, we might not need an urgent centre back
Mhm.
because Saliba is coming in,
Mhm.
and this playing a back three also works for someone like David Luiz. There are also reports of David Luiz trying to get Thiago Silva from PSG.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
If
heard that.
that yeah,
Yeah.
if that happens, then I think David Luiz is going to lose his starting spot. But that will be
Yeah.
really good for Arsenal because Thiago Silva has had this winning mentality
Yeah.
and
At the
he's
most, we
won.
can we can have a year or so with him. We can get that out of him, I think,
Right.
if
Yeah.
Thiago Silva comes to Arsenal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and what about the
Yeah.
creative mids?
So, but
What do
I
you
think
think about
that
it?
a lot of talk is happening about Thomas Partey,
Mm-hmm.
and. Thomas Partey, if you saw the Champions League match of Madrid versus Liverpool,
Liverpool, yeah,
Partey changed the whole course
seriously,
of
he
that
was
match.
outstanding, man.
And yeah, so if you ask me, I think 45 million for him seems to be a reasonable,
Mm-hmm.
sum of figure. And especially if it is a situation that Atletico want Guendouzi and we
Mm-hmm.
want Partey, and if there's some sort of a swap that can be
Happy.
arranged
Okay.
between the two clubs,
Mm-hmm.
then that'll be fantastic because Arteta doesn't really want to play Guendouzi, or
Mm-hmm.
Guendouzi seeming to have some sort of
Yeah.
behavioral issues, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be really good to actually, especially in a cash crunch situation, we could
Mm-hmm.
have a swap deal between the two clubs, and that'll work out really well for
Mm-hmm.
us. So
Party having
I'm really
and
looking.
that's gonna change the whole complex of the game for us with Partey coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Because I think, as you said, that the center back and the center midfield positions are probably the two lightest for us at the moment. Our wingers are good, our forwards are good. Uh, it's the central spine of the team that needs to, really
mhm.
be better. So let's see. And as a die hard, I sometimes I was reading this rumor that the Juventus is trying to move Aaron Ramsey out on
Yeah,
loan,
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're putting him
because
on the market. Yeah, after his first
yeah,
season.
they're putting him on
Yeah,
the market.
even
And
even I
yeah,
heard that
so
Tottenham is willing to
uh,
buy Ramsey. I even
yes,
heard that.
Tottenham is willing to
They
buy
are
Ramsey.
interested in it.
And Ramsey has been such a faithful Arsenal player, throughout his
Mhm.
career.
Yeah, seriously.
I would really, if that kind of a player is in the market, Arteta also is a huge admirer of him, has played with him.
Mhm.
You might never know
Yeah.
if he's available on a loan deal, where we
Mhm.
have to only pay a part of his wages. I think you might never know. So
Yeah,
let's see.
yeah. Actually, we are doing pretty well in that wage bill we are cutting off. When it comes to Mkhitaryan, you have recently heard. We got him another
Right,
year on the loan to
right,
Roma, and they are willing to pay his wages, the 10 millions. And even we cut
yeah,
off that
right,
bill wage, I think, on William Saliba, 2.5 million, that we were going to pay him if
yeah,
he is going to play for the final for Saint Etienne, the
right,
league
yeah,
final for them. So I think he's playing.
yeah. The League Cup
There was a
that we play.
rumors that he's coming back, and
Uh,
as of now, I think he's playing the final.
yeah, yeah. I think he has expressed that he wanted to play.
Mhm.
So I think between the clubs, initially Arsenal had opposed, but I think they would want to, if he gets a chance to win a trophy,
Mhm.
and then have a farewell that way, then I think they
Yeah.
might be willing to
Mhm.
have that flexibility for him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And what about Saka and Martinelli? They signed a contract
Oh,
recently.
I think,
Are you happy on
yeah,
that?
I think that was absolutely. I think that's as good as
Fabulous news, no?
having a new
Yeah.
signing. I mean, it
Mhm.
is, yeah, it is in fact ridiculous that a talent like Saka, he was at £3,000 a week,
Seriously.
and he was playing he was playing better than Ozil, who was at three hundred and fifty thousand
Mhm.
pounds a week. So I think the fact that we got him to sign,
Mhm.
really good news for us. Martinelli, again, bright prospect. I think really good future. The likes of Nketiah, Martinelli,
Mhm.
Saka,
Mhm.
Reece Nelson, all really bright players. Joe Willock, who've come through who are young
From the
players who
academy, yeah.
have at least 3-4 years, bright years ahead of them.
Mhm.
Having them sign for us, I think, gives us a lot of bright hope for the future.
Yeah. And out of nowhere, Guendouzi and Ozil are nowhere to be seen. And Arteta is,
Yeah,
I think, so mature to dodge all those questions the presenters are asking him.
yeah,
And we don't have
exactly. I think
any.
under Emery was not able to escape those questions.
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah, yeah.
Ozil's name came up, he
Arteta is
had to
doing pretty
come
well.
up with some excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Mhm.
he's just stating, in minimal terms, and just going ahead with
Yeah, yeah,
something more relevant to the
yeah.
match, etc.
Right.
So I think,
If it is for the
but
betterment of
yes,
the
we'll
team and
have
we are
to.
getting those results without including him, I have no problem with that. If Arteta
Yeah,
is thinking that, yeah, he is not fit to play in that system and he lacks some work rate, he was
right.
pretty doing well before the lockdown. After the lockdown, it
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
changed. God knows what repo they are having now. Are they? just
Yeah,
some bit
absolutely.
of clashes between the two because he was on, I think, on the bench for against Southampton. I think for one of the matches he was on the
Against
bench.
Southampton, he was on bench.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
after that we
Yeah.
got the news that he is having some back injury or something. He is
Yeah.
giving us a lot of excuses, so can't say for sure is he here to stay or not. Even I'm not sure for Ganduzi right now. I used to love Ganduzi, his compassion
Right.
and the way he used to uh, give his all on the pitch, playing for the team and not for
Yeah,
his
absolutely.
individual performance. So I used to love him. So
Yeah.
I'll be a bit. I
And
don't know. I'll be
he
able to
was playing
say
in the
that
second division in
about
France.
Ganduzi because we don't have
Yeah.
much leaders on the pitch right now, and a lot of our Arsenal greats
Right.
said that even Vieira said. I think someone commented on the Guendouzi situation that if you put him against a leader, then he will get a bit, I think, complacent.
Right.
Yeah. So we shouldn't let him
Yeah.
go, I think.
Yeah.
And even some of our greats are thinking the same way. So let's see how Arteta handles the situation because he is very much involved in the transfer.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
final decision is his if he wants the player to stay or not.
Hmm.
So hope for the best. And
Right.
what about the big question? Is Oba is here to stay, Obama Yang? What do you think?
I think I mean after a long time, the last couple of days we've been hearing some positive rumors coming.
From Arteta.
At least we know that yeah, from Arteta and Aubameyang is also. I think he has said that he has kind of hinted to the club what he wants in terms of the be it the revenue, be it the income or what his aspirations are, to understand if the club can meet those aspirations. So I think those are steps in the positive direction, because I think a couple of months back there were rumors that there's not even a contract on offer and that
Yeah.
there's no negotiation happening at all. But yes, now Arteta has also confirmed that there is active negotiation happening. Aubameyang is also giving kind of positive messages, and if you look at the way he plays, it doesn't look like he is having this whole contract situation in his mind.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
showing his 100% commitment and is, he's enjoying playing for the club. So I think he understands his value as a vital component in this whole Arteta journey. So let's hope that these rumors are true, and that he manages to stay, because
Yeah.
him signing would be a big positive
Big,
for us.
big, yeah, the leaders not leaving because in the past we have a few examples, rather it be Van Persie or Cesc Fabregas leaving for big clubs, and they were actually
Yes.
captaining the club. So if Aubameyang goes, then that's a big,
Yeah.
big negative, I think, for the club that they are not able to let him
Right.
stay. They are not agreeing to his terms, giving the amount which he is asking. So he should stay, I think. And if we are, he's actually, I think he's
Right.
waiting. He's waiting for the moment to make sure are we getting the Champions League football or are we getting into Europe? And he's waiting for the right moment. If
Yeah. Right.
we are able to do that, then maybe he'll sign a contract pretty soon. So
Hmm.
let's see. He's doing pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, being a he he's a
Right.
striker,
Absolutely. I think
but
he.
I don't know why they are
Yeah.
playing
He's.
him on the left flank. Why is that? What do you think?
I think. Uh, so
Because
I think because his
during
pace
his
is really good,
Borussia Dortmund days,
and
he used to be a striker, out and
yeah, he used to be the central, out and
yeah,
out central
yeah.
striker, right? But I think initially it was to kind of accommodate Lacazette, because Lacazette can't play out wide. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to play Lacazette through the center, and then therefore Aubameyang plays wide.
Yeah.
Even now, Nketiah has to play through the center, so you
Mhm.
have to play Aubameyang wide. And Aubameyang has that ability to cut inside with his right foot and shoot with the right foot.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
in through
he's very
from the
good
left
in that.
flank, he can
Yeah.
cut inside and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that used to be how Thierry Henry used to play in his earlier days, when he used to cut in from the left,
Mm-hmm.
and shoot with the right foot. So I think uh, one, it helps us make use of his space on the wings. He's able to make use of his space, and he's able to cut in and shoot. And it also allows us to play a Lacazette or an Nketiah through the middle. So I think in case you have a team where Martinelli is playing, then maybe Martinelli might play on the left, and Aubameyang would play in the center.
Aubameyang might play
If
in
it
the
is
center.
a Laka or Nketiah, then it might be Aubameyang
Mm.
playing on the
If
wings.
that's the case, even
And
Martinelli signed
it's
a contract extension. I think Lacazette should be leaving the club. I think Atletico wants him too. I
yeah,
think
I think
there
if
were
you
some rumors going on.
yeah,
Atletico wants
right.
him.
Because if among our current pool of strikers, if you ask me, if Martinelli is also fit right
Mhm.
now, Lacazette would be a third or a fourth choice striker after Aubameyang, then Nketiah, like
The
Martinelli,
personality
and
like
then
Lacazette,
probably
I don't think
Lacazette would
so.
come.
He's willing to be on the bench. Yeah.
Right, right. And the output from his has also been only to that level. So
Mhm.
I think his link up play and everything is good, but
His hold up play is
he's still
pretty
not going
amazing.
to give you 20 goals a season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, his
His
hold up
hold
play
up
is
play,
very
I
good.
love his
He,
hold up play. He lets the
when we have to,
others to move
uh,
forward and then he links up. That way, he's amazing.
right,
Actually, I think Arteta is playing him a
he
false
has
nine
that
or what?
nice ability to yeah, he almost plays him like a false nine. He's
Mhm.
holding the ball, letting the
Yeah.
attackers foul him, and then
Mhm.
win fouls that way.
Mhm.
He's done really well in that role, but he's still not the guy who'll give you 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
And if you have someone like an Aubameyang, or if you have even a Martinelli who can probably do 10 or 15,
Mhm.
then maybe Lacazette doesn't really have that kind of a role in this team. And he's also in the last 1 year of going to enter the last year of his contract
Mhm.
very soon. So I think if we are able to sell him and cash him out, might as well do that.
Okay, okay. So next we are having Leicester against us. They are visiting Emirates. I think we are having a home
Yes,
game against Leicester, and
yeah.
we lost at the what's the stadium name? I forgot.
King
King
Power
Power.
Stadium.
King Power Stadium. They thrashed us
Yeah,
like anything. And what do you actually?
yeah,
They are also not pretty doing so well after the lockdown. They recently
yeah.
lost
I
to
think they had
Brighton 2-0, so they are not on their
yeah, but
strongest.
I think today they won
They
today.
won
So I
against
think against Palace, and they won
Palace,
three
yeah,
nil.
Crystal Palace.
Uh, Yeah, so and Vardy scored 2 goals today. So I think that is I was actually hoping, for our sake that because Vardy is that kind of player, if he scores 2 goals, he will score 10 again.
Yeah, yeah,
But if he
yeah.
doesn't score for a couple of games, then his confidence will completely go.
Mhm.
So after the restart, he was not scoring. They were thinking of dropping him, and
And
questions were
just when
asked
they are
about that.
coming to play to the
I
Emirates, they
was
are
really
having the momentum with them.
Yeah, actually, it has come at a time where they are slowly picking up, and so it's not going to be an easy match.
Mhm.
But because for them also there's a pressure that if they lose and United win, they will be level on points. So
Even they are sliding at the bottom in the table. I think Manchester United got onto the fourth position today after their win against
right,
who was they facing today? I forgot the name. Who they facing?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Yeah.
Uh,
So, what are your predictions? Are we
yeah.
going to win?
I think because of it's the home game, we might have that added advantage. I'm hoping it's going to be a high-scoring win for us. So maybe a 3-1 or a 4-2 type of a win. It's
Okay.
Leicester are going to score for sure, but
Mm.
we have to score more than them. That's my hope. So I'm hoping it's going to be a good
Okay, let's
game.
hope so. Hope so we get the win. So
Yeah,
that's it for now, Rahul. I think we should wrap this up.
yeah,
So
yeah. Sure.
yeah, so it was
Okay.
good having you,
See
Rahul,
you.
with us. So hope
Thank you
you
so much.
do
It was
well
nice
and
talking
stay
to
in
you.
touch. And thanks for coming to the podcast and
Yeah,
sharing
yeah,
your views.
absolutely.
So that's it for
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
guys.
Thank you so
We'll be
much.
doing this more in the future. It was pretty good
Okay.
being on the show. So thank you. And
Thank you so much. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you too.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Chalo,
ठीक है. See you.
okay, bye, bro. Okay.
चलो. Bye bye.